suot ni Rodrigo Roa Duterte ng pagkapangulo ng ating bansa. Si Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang ating sinampahan ng kaso dahil sa kahindik-hindik, karimari-marim at kasuklam-suklam na mga hakbang at mga pananalita niya laban sa akin. Mga pananalita na walang kinalaman sa kanyang tungkulin bilang Pangulo, kahit na pilit niyang ginagamit at sinasamantala ang posisyon niyan para maisakatapa-tuparan ang kanyang personal na pagnanasang parusahan ako. Make no mistake, my journey down the Duterte rabbit hole started not last August 2016, nung nag-umpisa siyang pagmumura niya sa akin ng katakot-takot, but actually it started 7 years ago. Sabi ko nga, I blame former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. Bakit pa kasi niya ako in-appoint na chairperson ng Commission on Human Rights noong 2008? Kung tutuusin, naririto po ako ngayon dahil siguro nakilala ni PGMA na makatutulong ang aking reputasyon bilang isang hard-hitting, no-nonsense female lawyer para mapatunayang seryoso yung pamahalaan niya noon na isaayos ang ating human rights record na noon ay binabatikos both locally and internationally. Katulad din po na nangyayari ngayon. Sa mga Pilipinong hindi nakakalimot, marahil natuntun nyo na EJ case din ang pinagsimulan ng lahat ng ito. Hindi ito mga EJ case na nagaganap ngayong taon, pero yung mga naganap noong halos isang dekadang panunungkulan ni PGMA. Hindi ba't doon nga lumutang at sumikat ang isa sa kanyang mga general na binansagang The Butcher, si Jovito Palparamo Jr. At noon din umalingaw-ngaw sa buong mundo, kabilang na sa bulwagan ng United Nations, ang tinatawag na Davao Death Squad. Hindi ko po inimbento yan. Hindi pa po ako lingkod bayan, DDS na ang DDS. In fact, maybe you can say that I became a public servant precisely because of the acts attributed to the Butcher, the DDS, and the like. Dahil 30 linggo matapos lumabas ang Philippine Mission Report ng UN Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial Summary or Arbitrary Executions na si Philip Alston, isa rin po sa mga pinakapaboritong tao ni Duterte, ay inappoint po ako ni PGMA bilang CHR chairperson. Some say she had the good sense to know that she needed a person who had the reputation for integrity and the track record that could credibly improve our government's human rights record. Perhaps what she didn't fully realize was that I am no one's window dressing. Hindi po ako palamuti lamang. If you appoint me to a post, I will execute the duties of that office to the best of my ability, without fear or favor. At doon po nagtagpo ang landas namin ni Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The rest is, as you know, history. For me, it meant a public service record that saw me tangle with powerful, influential, and wealthy people. I made powerful enemies and aided by their agents because I cannot do anything less than what my duties demanded. Cowardice was not a luxury I had the time nor the stomach to indulge in. 2016 comes and here I am, a senator, again calling for an investigation into the spate of EJ case taking place in our homes and in our streets. In terms of performing my duties, I am who I always have been. And that is Rodrigo Roa Duterte, a man who rose to power and, instead of seeing the opportunity to make the Philippines a truly better place for his people, his children, decided that he would use that to get back at me for the sins he thinks I committed against him and against those who helped him win the election. He started doing to me slowly what was done to victims of extrajudicial killings. He was killing me. Sabi nga niya, yung kinanta pa nga niya yun eh. Yung killing me softly. He was killing me, not even figuratively, but literally. He even admitted it. He wanted to drive me to suicide. He had imposed his own brand of death penalty by bullying, through the misuse, abuse, and exploitation of the power of the office of the President and the might of the executive branch, with the complicity of certain members of Congress and professional trolls and bullies. And he himself was executing it. Verdugo. Isa po siyang verdugo. For the last few months, I faced my executioner, and his name is Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And for a time, he succeeded. I admit I felt the pain he wanted to make me feel. I had a sleepless nights he wanted me to suffer through. He wanted me to suffer through. I had doubts of ever finding vindication, the sense of helplessness and hopelessness that he wanted to use as the poison that would finally kill me. I started to question whether there are still people who support me. I went through the period of isolation that he wanted to impose on me or upon me. You would never know it, but it is actually possible pala to experience solitary confinement without physical locks and walls to keep you in. I felt the shame he wanted me to feel. I even avoided na yung mga gusto kong ginagawa, katulad ng videoke at ballroom dancing. When I thought that there were actually ordinary people who believed all the awful names, lies, and curse words, yung mga PI na yan, he used to stone me to death. Sinful woman that I was in his mind. I felt the urge to sink down to his level na parang baboy na nakalubog sa pusali at nakikipagbatuhan ng putik. It was tempting, I tell you. But I realized something. If I can go through all of this and still be alive, breathing, fighting, who's the real loser here? Who's the coward? Sino ang tunay na matibay? If I allow myself to fight them at their own game, name-calling, mudslinging, lying, using the hashtag invent a more tactic, the lie through your teeth until your wig falls off style of fighting, or the guess if I'm serious or lying type of rhetoric where everything, even God, country, and people's lives are punchlines to jokes. Who will keep fighting for the important issues? Everyone will forget about the victims, their families, the orphan children. They will shut down the investigations. If I did that, everyone loses. And Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the man whose ego cannot endure even the slightest sting of apparent criticism, would have won. Ako na gamitin laban sa akin. Parang tinulungan ko siyang patunayan na mahina ang mga kababaihan. Na ang babae ay dapat lumagay sa pinaglagyan sa kanya ng mga lalaki, na hindi siya pwedeng umalma, magalit at umangal dahil pag umangal siya, parang pinatunayan niya na bungangera, pikon, balat sibuyas, makitid ang isip, walang sense of humor at walang sense ang mga babae. Na hindi sila maasahan sa mga seryoso at masaselang usapin dahil ang tunay na kagalang-galang na babae ay ang tahimik na dalaga mas piniling magpakamatay kaysa labanan at ilantad ang lumapastangan sa kanya. Nang kanyang tanging tungkulin ng isang babae ay ang purihin at bigyan ng bulag, pipi at binging pagsuporta ang mga lalaki. Doon ko po naisip, hindi po ako papayag. Hindi ko hahayang paano ko susukatin natin by stroking the ego. I wish to stress that. The biggest sin is to use my womanhood to silence my humanity. To use a weapon meant to oppress, repress, and diminish women in order to perpetuate even greater human rights violations. I refuse to cower.